Welcome to Av Continues, episode 192. This is a weekly podcast posted up every Monday on avcontinues.com as an MP3, or a little bit before that on youtube.com/avcontinues as a video, where you can see my face and sometimes my guests' faces if they are with me. Sometimes, I'm online and they decide to not show their face, but that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, because this week we have Kevin Licious.
Hello. I'm not even going to argue that.
And we have Ali not with us yet. He'll be here eventually.
Whenever.
Unless we finish this before he gets here, then that's another story. But he should be here eventually. That's what this empty chair is for. So anyways, for those of you new to the show, I'm your host, Stafa. And, we talk about video games and related topics here. This week, we're going to talk about Nintendo. The good about Nintendo, specifically.
Yeah.
After that, after our main topic, we're going to have a quick announcement, and then we have news, gaming news, and a few comic/movie news. So we got some, it's mainly stuff from Comic-Con that we didn't cover on last week's episode because they announced it after the recording. So yeah. So anyways, before we go on, just a quick disclaimer that all opinions expressed on the show are of our own and not of our employers, whether past, present, or future. Just want to make that clear.
Got a lawyer over here.
Yeah. I just want to,
Lawyer Stafa.
make that clear. Don't want to get into any legal trouble because of any things I say here. So, And also I want another disclaimer. If you hear any thunders or rains, it's because it's thundering and raining right now.
Yeah,
so,
it's pretty bad too.
Yeah. Flash flood warning. So, Lake of Hassani is probably going to appear pretty soon in the backyard. So anyways, let's talk about Nintendo.
Yeah.
You suggested that we talk about Nintendo because it's kind of unintentionally becoming a thing this on the show, where we have a weekly bash Nintendo segment. And I really mean it's unintentional. I don't want to sit here and say bad things about Nintendo every week.
But it's always so relevant because whatever they do that week is usually worthy of bashing in some way.
Yeah.
So,
but we want to say some good things about Nintendo because, as pretty much all of you who are listening to the show know already, because it's huge news. Satoru Iwata, the former CEO of Nintendo, has passed away. And, on the show, I've expressed multiple times my disagreements with what he has been doing with Nintendo, the past years.
yeah.
And I don't take those statements back. I did not agree with what was going on, and I felt like it was taking Nintendo in the wrong directions. But that doesn't mean I felt ill will towards him as a human.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure as a man, he was a good guy. I mean, one of the things that he's done that really has made a loud statement is that he cut his salary in half one year because of Nintendo wasn't it wasn't reaching their quota.
Yeah, I think they were having some issues meeting their goals and their financial goals, and so.
And what CEO cuts their salary in half?
Usually it's the other way around. If something bad goes on with the company, they will usually lay off people from the company, cut the salaries of employees, and then give themselves a bonus.
Yeah. give exactly. They'll give themselves a bonus as well.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure he was probably a really good guy in person, which I have no clue. Never met him.
Yeah.
Never have even seen him in person, but I'm pretty sure he was a good guy. And we want to say some things that we like about Nintendo, why we like Nintendo. We want to talk about that. And and some a thing that's not many people know about Iwata is that he was actually a programmer as well.
Mhm.
A lot of people consider him like one of the best programmers, at least one of the best Japanese programmers. He worked at HAL Studios. He worked on games like Balloon Fight, Kirby's Dream Land, Super Smash Brothers. He's worked on a lot of games that people really enjoy, and he was like one of the head programmers for most of those projects.
Yeah.
And so he did develop games. He was a game developer. And during one E3 he made a statement. It was like, on my business card, I'm a corporate president. On in my mind, I'm a developer, and in my heart, I'm a gamer.
Yeah. It was a pretty good quote.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were quoting that on the day he died. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, let's take a moment and say all the good things about Nintendo, Mario. Let's move on. We're done.
Wow, that was a bash. What happened to not bashing Nintendo?
No, seriously though. Let's talk about the stuff that we like about Nintendo. So, like, I'm a bit older than you, Kevin, and so there's probably gonna be some differences between our Nintendo experiences. I played a lot of NES and Super Nintendo more than the other consoles, more than N64 and everything else. So.
Yeah, I definitely did play a lot more N64 and GameCube, but I did play some Super Nintendo games. I do remember playing some of those. I actually do remember playing the original Zelda too at one point. I don't remember where or when, but I remember playing it. And I mean, I've talked a lot about The Legend of Zelda and my interest in that series, and I think they've done a great job with that whole series in a way, because I mean it's got this really complex timeline that a lot of people have been debating about for so long, and then they finally,
that timeline, that the official timeline they released,
and then when they officially announced what it was,
I feel like that. I feel like they were reaching for straws to try to put that together.
They definitely were. I mean, especially because there's no in-game confirmation about any of that being split, like a timeline or anything like that.
You see,
but they're just like, oh, and this, we're just gonna kind of put that together. Because
the thing that I always felt was that, well, originally I was like, okay, there's Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 is obviously a sequel, and kind of got confusing after that. But as I got older, high school or so, I was like, they're just their own games.
Yeah, see, I would honestly be okay with that, especially with like how Final Fantasy does it too.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of the games is its own thing.
Yeah,
and
that's what I felt.
Unless it's the when it has the dash in a sequel number, but
I feel like the developers probably were just going with that as well. Like, they did not care about an overall timeline, and were just like, here's a new Zelda game. They didn't really care about the timeline until fans insisted they wanted a timeline, and they're like, here's a timeline. And it's like,
so I wonder now if they're going to do a timeline for Mario, because I mean, a lot of the games are essentially doing the same thing, where it's a similar experience with similar enemy types, but it's not necessarily the same Mario.
Well, I really hope they don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't want them to.
The thing with Mario is that it definitely got jumbled up as far as the continuity, because number 2, which isn't a canonical game.
Mm-hmm.
It was originally Doki Doki Panic.
Yeah.
and then like the ending shows that it was all a dream.
Yeah.
The Shy Guys make it into the Mario universe, and I hope that didn't mess up our recording.
It looks like the recording's still going.
Okay, all right, that's good.
So the power doesn't go out.
All right, it's just the lights. But you get what I mean. Like the Shy Guys made it to the Mario universe, even though they're originally characters from a Doki Doki Panic.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, we're kind of going on a tangent talking more about like the problems, but once again,
No, that's not really problems. It's more of a
observation.
yeah.
But yeah, I definitely like the Legend of Zelda series because they do a good job, especially the ones that are more story based. And puzzles, like the puzzles are usually really good. Like it's always rewarding when you complete a temple or complete a puzzle,
Mhm.
and it's not just a one-dimensional experience that you're just completing. You're actually kind of involved with the game a lot more than some other games. So I really do like the Zelda series, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with the open world game, but they really haven't announced anything on that yet. So
Mhm. Yeah, I have never beaten a Zelda game. I've played a lot of Wind Waker.
yeah,
Until my friend's girlfriend like borrowed my GameCube, and then Ali came in.
No, I've been here the whole time.
he's just really quiet today.
You're on. We have a video.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there's totally video. Anyways, so I'm assuming she like either turned off the GameCube while it says
Don't
saving
turn
and don't turn off, or she pulled the memory card.
Oh no.
One or the other. Either way, the save got corrupted.
Scrub.
And yep,
She's
scrub.
gotten a different memory card and made it back up.
Man, memory cards are
I
expensive.
know,
Should have
they
put up the memory cards on a raid.
But either way, so
PC
I
Master Race.
did not want to start that game over, and I was like, screw this. And I played quite a bit of Ocarina of Time, which a lot of people consider that to be the best one. Well,
I don't think it's the best
people
one,
consider
but-
either that or Link to the Past for the most part.
A lot of people think that either Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask,
People
but I don't think any of those are my favorite.
people
Twilight
think
Princess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
But so I played
you were about to say something, weren't you?
never mind.
well, I played Ocarina of Time, and I got so far, and I felt like I got to a point where the game wasn't very clear to me, like as far as what I'm supposed to do next. It didn't have enough direction as to what I'm supposed to do. I had to look up a lot of things
Yeah.
online on an FAQ. I was like, how am I supposed to like open this door? Oh, I'm supposed to play a song for this guy to make him happy. And
Yeah.
like I did not know that. So
A lot of the Zelda games are kind of, they have a lot of obscure, stupid stuff like that.
so to
Some of them,
me,
yeah.
to me, I felt like the game was designed to a point where you need to buy the walkthrough.
The guide.
The Prima the Prima guide or whatever it is called, just so you can play through the game. I was like, no, this is if I can't figure it out on my own, then no.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of puzzles like that throughout the games, but I think that Twilight Princess had the better story and gameplay. I mean, gameplay tends to improve as each one comes out because it's more updated technology and stuff.
Yeah.
That's
So,
debatable.
yeah, it's debatable, but
Because
the general motion.
Skyward Sword's gameplay wasn't.
I didn't play Twilight Princess on the Wii with the remote. I played it on the GameCube with the controller.
I mean,
and I thought that
it was
worked.
essentially the same
So
game,
you,
but
so
like,
you played the real version.
The real version, yeah.
Not the
not the
inverted.
mirrored version. Yeah, I played the real version, the one where Link is actually left-handed.
That I feel like that's really ridiculous. The fact that they, rather than just inverting Link, they just inverted the video.
Yeah.
you mean
They
not
inverted
the
the
video?
whole game.
They inverted the whole game.
Yeah.
All the
so-
assets were just inverted, which is
Yeah,
it is weird. I don't understand why they did that, but
because it's part of Nintendo's charm.
maybe it was just
Hey,
easier for
hey,
them.
we're I know you
I'm not
weren't
being
you-
sarcastic.
You weren't here.
I'm
You
not
weren't
being
here, but I
sarcastic.
said we're saying good things about Nintendo.
I'm not being sarcastic. You think I'm being sarcastic, and that, sir, is your negativity.
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Nintendo. Directly to you. Nintendo. If I had some bananas, I'd be staring at it right now.
No, you got to invert it.
I did. That's inverted.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, because the video feed.
So, anyways,
Oh, man.
yeah, I mean, like, I wasn't much for Zelda, but I did really like Mario.
Mhm.
I loved the first 3 games. Played a lot of those.
You like
And
the second one?
Yeah, I liked it. It's pretty cool.
I couldn't get anywhere in that game. I hated it.
I loved it.
I
It
hated
was really fun. I love playing as Princess Peach. Man, that mask was scary.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
I would go into the vase and I see that key and I would just get out. I wouldn't even take the key. I would just get up and go. I'd just like no.
My
no-
one gripe with that game was that it doesn't tell you that up goes through doors. So
Yeah.
I remember playing that game once and I was like stuck in the very beginning of the game. Like, how do I get out of here?
Yeah.
What do I do? And it like took me forever to figure out that like I was pressing buttons. I was just pressing everything and eventually I got through the door. I was like, how did I get through the door?
See, that's why you have to push each button individually.
It probably says in the
In the little guidebook. that
yeah,
we,
the
we didn't
manual.
have a guidebook.
yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't have one,
We
so
bought it used, I think,
or borrowed it.
or borrowed it. Yeah.
Either way. So but I love the Mario games. I really liked Mario World. I think that is the best one. Some people will say that Mario 3 is better.
No,
I think
World is-
Mario 3 is the beta for Mario World.
Yeah, I really like that game. There's like, I didn't know there was a bunch of like, you get a bunch of the secrets and stuff. When we played it way back when, and then like you see people like doing speed runs or like 100% runs, and you're like, I don't know that thing existed.
Man, the
like-
the speedruns today are a joke because like the guy who has like the world record for the
No, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's
no,
pretty
I
cool.
think that doesn't even count.
They have different like
He like does a glitch in like one of the first levels that takes him to the ending.
it's not
it,
one,
like-
it's like how it's not the first level. It's pretty close to it, I think.
It's one of like
Anyway,
the first or second level, something like that.
It's still impressive though.
I don't feel like that counts.
But they still like have different groupings for world records.
you're glitching the game just to
they are he's
get to the ending.
writing to the code while in game.
Anyways,
Next level.
Anyways,
Papaya. I think that's they still group them differently. Like they have different like world record like
Anyways,
credentials.
Let's move
So
on.
like sometimes it's 100% world
moving
record or minimum star requirement.
We're moving on.
Okay.
Mario 64.
Speaking of stars,
Mario 64 was fun.
Mario 64 was
All the
awesome.
previous Mario games were betas to that.
Mario 64, I feel like it made it set the groundwork on how to make a 3D game.
Yeah.
I mean the game. I'm not talking about like. I mean, Doom was you moved in
the 3D space.
3D space, but like, and I think Quake probably came out before.
Yeah.
But as far as like a 3D platformer and moving in Avatar through a 3D
Yeah.
world,
Because Quake was first person and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So Mario 64 was one of the first games with a 3D like person, like in third person.
yeah, and a camera that moved around.
Yeah.
Like Crash Bandicoot
And they
came out first, but that camera's fixed.
Yeah. And they kind of like they introduce you to how this camera works by what's that dude's name, is it Lakuta or Lataku or
Oh,
Kotaku or
LaQuisha.
Laquisha? the Laquisha's fun. Yeah.
What I know, what you're talking about, the little cloud thing.
Yeah.
The guy in the cloud.
Yeah, it shows him like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
We
You know,
got
just
that. We
like,
got that.
so, and it's like, oh, you know, you got to go like you're in this like just like a plain grassy field type thing, and it's like, okay, walk up this path. And it doesn't tell you, but you know, you think to yourself, okay, I got to move myself to this castle, and it's just kind of like a little place to jump around, and
You know,
if you fall off the bridge, you're in water. So like, oh, so I could swim, you know. So it's
back
nice.
back in the day,
It's nice.
back in the day, like, you know, you had at your, you know, department stores or whatever, like
Dude, those
you'd have
kiosks, man.
All right, so you'd have like knights,
And
then next to that you'd have Crash Bandicoot, and then next to that you have Mario 64. Like it was like practically like 3 different generations next to each other.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like there was an argument that a Bandicoot looked a little smoother, but I mean, really, Mario was more impressive looking because the camera moved around. You could do a lot more.
Yeah.
Knights, no one except for crazy people like Brian, who was here last week, would argue is that Knights is
dude, that guy really likes Sega.
He's probably listening to this right now and like shaking his fist. He's like, I love Knights.
Dude, like I played that once and I thought it was nifty, but I was like, you know,
I played that once. I was like, this is terrible.
you look at every other game, like you see the PlayStation 1 kiosk with the demo, you know, the jam pack in there, and then like there's the you know the N64 kiosk that you usually had like Killer Instinct or Super Mario 64 or you know something else. You don't like you look
Star
at Knights, you look at the other stuff, and you're like, man, who wants to play that game?
Brian.
He really likes Sega.
He loves Sega. He loves that Sega. But yeah, I really like the Mario games.
Yeah. There was a time when Nintendo definitely set the standard for a lot of things, like 3D games with Mario 64, and yeah, they did push the gaming industry for a while, and I mean, a lot of things probably wouldn't be around because I mean, they even with the Wii, they kind of pushed motion gaming, which didn't really help PlayStation that much because Move didn't really move anywhere. But I mean, Xbox puts
Cause Sarai is gonna come after you. He's gonna send the Sony ninjas.
Yeah. But I mean, Microsoft did at one point put a huge emphasis on Kinect. They haven't anymore, but they kind of let that die.
It's kind of dead now.
Yeah.
He's dead.
You know,
he's dead, Jim.
He's dead, Jim.
One Nintendo game that I really loved, and I feel like it's changed a lot of people's perspectives on video games, was Brain Age.
I've never played it.
Brain
I know
Age,
that was that DS.
yes,
Kind of.
it was awesome.
Yeah, everyone was into it.
Like you first of all, you hold the DS sideways,
Like a booklet.
Yeah, like a booklet, and I feel like the epiphany for me where I felt like, man, this has really changed video games was when I saw this elderly lady, like she's in her 60s, at Walmart when I worked there, you know, in the break room, she was playing Brain Age on a DS.
That's pretty cool.
And that's when I was like, this has changed video games.
Yeah. That actually brings up a question. Did they have a left-handed mode? Because I mean, if you held it one way, then
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Yes, they have a left-hand mode. It switches the screens,
That's
so
good.
you just flip the whole thing around.
At least I thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, like, they took math
And made it fun.
yeah, and like, I mean, like, these days, it probably would need more features like leaderboards and such, because what it had going on was that you could have 4 profiles. I think it was 4. Yeah, four profiles on your cartridge, and basically you'd have to have your friends or family members or whoever, you have to share it with them and let them play each day just to like, you know, get the leaderboards and get the comparisons going. Otherwise, like the chart showing your progression and everything, it'll just be you by yourself.
Oh yeah.
So it was really fun, like trying to get other people to play on my DS. But the thing is, I had a huge advantage because of the fact that I was playing every day and they didn't play on my DS every day.
I would have stole it. I'd be like, play on this. I'd be like, yank.
I'll yank your face,
That's not
Debo.
nice. That's not nice.
Hey, mister, let me see your wallet. I got a magic trick for you.
I can make your money disappear.
Debo!
I'm the world's fastest man.
Oh, God.
You wanna bet some money? Bet some money. World fastest man.
Yeah. Usain Bolt.
But speaking of DS, that's another thing that they've really been very strong with is just handheld gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since they
Yeah.
started handheld gaming back with the Game Boy, even like that's been probably their biggest revenue generating thing that they've done.
I loved the Game Boy Advance and the DS. I played a lot of both of those.
Yeah.
I didn't get to play a lot of either of those. That's a shame because those two are they're really great handhelds. Like Game Boy Advance was actually really cool.
At the
I thought
time,
the Game Boy Advance SP,
The SP, yeah.
the foldable
yeah,
one.
With
at
the
the time
backlight.
during the prime
Yeah.
of both those platforms, I was working at Walmart. So, you know, I was like, I bought, you know, first off, I bought Game Boy Advance and I played that a lot during breaks.
Mhm.
And then, you know, I bought a DS when that came out, played that a lot during breaks. And like Game Boy Advance was like a better Super Nintendo. Like it had 16-bit type graphics, but slightly better.
Mhm.
And, you know, just loved the games on there, mainly Castlevanias and such. And then, you know, the Castlevanias came over to Nintendo DS and had a lot of fun with that. And I love
Also,
games
also
like
the DS was backwards compatible with GBA, wasn't it?
yes,
Until
two
the
cartridge slots.
until the 3DS came out.
Yeah, until 3 that got rid of the Game Boy.
A feature I really liked on the DS was a lot of the games let you kind of like through Wi-Fi. You send out like a demo or like a micro version of the
Yeah,
game.
you could do multiplayer games even if only one
Like
person had
Mario
the,
Kart DS was
Yes.
like that. Yeah.
I forgot it was called something share wireless or share direct or something like that.
Game share.
Yeah, because my wife Megan still has her. Well, it's a DS Lite, but still a DS,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and you could share Mario Kart. I think it's 1 or 2 tracks, and then you could choose between like several different like Toadstool characters. I think,
I thought they're just shy guys.
or maybe it is Shy Guys.
They're
And-
just shy. Like you don't get to pick the character. It's just a shy guy, no
Yeah.
matter what. And it's a different colored one. But it was really cool. Also, New Mario Brothers had like some mini games that you can play with each other.
Mhm.
Which that's a terrible name. New Mario Brothers.
Metroid, what was it? Prime Echoes, I think, allowed you to share the game via Wi-Fi, do multiplayer.
I remember there was,
I think it's Echoes. You
you
could,
can-
like versus each other.
I remember like you were able to like go to stores like, you know, like GameStop or Walmart or whatever,
Mhm.
and they would basically have like a Wi-Fi hotspot. It was basically a DS that they had on all the time. that you-
DS hotspot.
yeah, DS hotspot. You get near it, and then you can like through Wi-Fi you download demos.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Temporarily download. Like as soon as you turn it off, the demos are gone.
It's pretty nifty. And I mean, that's kind of one of the plus sides to, like, sure, I like the PSP at the time was great hardware, and also the Vita. Like, I still think the Vita is probably the best handheld hardware wise.
Yeah.
And maybe, and even like firmware wise, it's really great. But the thing is, It's pushing. Oh, I know it's dead. It's very dead. It's legacy. Like what is it called? Legacy hardware or legacy platform.
Legacy of Kain.
Anyway, but because it has like the better and faster processors, like the Killzone on it looks amazing, and in some ways better than the PS3 version. But
I
like,
remember seeing a lot of comparison screenshots between Vita games and like early PS3 games.
Yeah, dude, yeah,
they looked so much better.
Yeah, seriously. But like the games are huge, like the development costs are much higher, and like you can't do, on the DS you could just share those like games or whatever to a tiny extent, and because they're so small, you could do that really quickly. But if you have a several gig game, which I mean, you can on a Vita. Games got, I think, some get up to even maybe 4 gigs. Like, how are you supposed to share? Like, even if you share a quarter of the assets,
You share it directly to you.
yeah, there you go. But like, it just doesn't work. You can't do that.
Yeah,
it's too big. It's not as versatile. So.
They need to bring like Thunderbolt direct connection wires back like the old days. Like they have those
yeah.
little cables that you connect your Game Boys to.
Since we brought up this topic because of Iwata, Kirby.
I like the Kirby games.
My favorite Kirby was Kirby All-Star for Super Nintendo.
I did too. I played that a lot, several times, because you'd play the game and then I'd be like, I think I'm done playing with the main campaign, and then I'll just go into the little punch thing.
Well, like the thing is, like there was no one main campaign.
Yeah.
Like there was like multiple short games.
Yeah.
And like as you beat one, it unlocks another one that kind of was like story-wise, it was the result of the ending of the previous one.
I never noticed that because I mean I was a lot younger at the time, but I just liked being able to, because isn't that the one that had the little punching, like
had the
little strength bar, and and I thought it was really cool that Kirby would just like split the earth like nearly in half.
It wasn't an Earth.
Well, the whatever planet,
in fact, I think it was the shape of a star.
Well, you know what I mean. Whatever planet they're on.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hey, Kirby.
Celestial body.
Kirby beat Majin Buu in Screw Attack's death match.
Did he?
Yes.
Was it because Kirby could assimilate Majin
Kirby
Buu's?
is more powerful than Majin Buu. He is strong enough to throw a star, and he like sucks things into an alternate dimension that like exists inside his stomach. So therefore, he is he's more powerful than Majin Buu.
Is that what Kirby does? That he sucks things into a different dimension?
Yeah, like
so Kirby.
You should watch this death match. They go deep into the Kirby lore, explaining everything about
Kirby
how
is
exactly how
actually
strong he is.
a black hole.
Yes, yes,
He is a tear through space-time continuum.
yes. He is,
and
Kirby is OP.
He is OP.
He is OP.
He's a living universe.
Well, he actually is overpowered because a lot of people who don't like Kirby games, they argue that they're too easy because Kirby is overpowered. Like it's a platformer in which you can fly. You
can fly.
Puffing.
You see a guy that has superpowers you want, you just
yep. I in Kirby's All-Star, I really like the co-op.
I don't remember that. I remember it, but I don't remember how it played.
I can't remember the details, but basically when he sucks an enemy, you can rather than taking the power, you can make it into a good dude, and then if you press start on the second controller,
yeah, that's right. They could control it.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
And then, like, whenever they died, you just make another dude.
Those Waddle Dees or whatever they're called.
No, just anything. I like the sword guy. Sword guy was pretty good. Punching guy was good too.
You talking about Meta Knight?
No, just regular sword guy. The bad guys.
Oh, okay.
Like his ability was sword.
Oh.
Like when you suck him up and steal his power, just as sword.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I never played the Kirby games. I kind of want to. The only time I ever played Kirby anything was in Smash Brothers.
Kirby games are actually really good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about them.
I actually like them better than Legend of Zelda games. to
Oh,
be
really?
honest. They were fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I was
Yes.
a little
they,
kid.
they do look fun.
I like
The
Super
music's
Punch
really
Out.
good too.
Super Punch Out.
I don't like those games.
I think a lot of people argue that Mike Tyson's Punch Out is the best one, which
No,
I
this
will
is-
disagree. They're just saying it just because Mike Tyson's in it. Super
And
Punch
because-
Out
Yeah.
looked amazing,
Yeah.
and it played way better than regular Punch Out. That game was so fun, and I feel like it has aged really well because I played it.
Yeah, the
I think-
sprites are pretty high detail.
I think around 2007 or so, 2006, 2007, I was playing a ton of it, and I was like, man, this game's so fun. I was memorizing everybody's patterns and everything. It was pretty sweet.
I don't like that. Versus Gabby J. Yay! Was it Bear Hugger?
Yeah.
Bear Hugger.
It was like a Bob Marley guy.
Yeah.
And there was Dragon Chan.
Dude, is that the guy that would jump from like post to post and then kick you in the face?
Yes. he
Man, it's
cheated.
boxing.
Yes. He was basically a mix between Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan, and
That's racist.
there was a Mexican luchador
That's racist.
who would spit in your face.
That's racist.
And when he does that, the game gets all like super pixelized and blurry,
Yeah.
and you cannot hit him. Like if you hit him, it doesn't connect as a hit because
Because everything's blurry and pixely.
yeah, cheating.
Makes perfect sense.
So the only fair characters in that game are the white people.
No, heck no.
That's
The
racist.
bosses or white guys, and like the second to last guy, I think it was Rick Bruiser. Like he would break your hands. Like he would break your hands, and then your hand would be glowing, and you can't use it anymore because it's broken.
Sounds bad. sounds like a not fair game. Because Bear Hugger and Gabby J, they definitely played by the rules. Lil Mac definitely played by the rules. What was that guy you mentioned? The guy that broke the hands,
Rick Bruiser.
Rick Bruiser. Is that the guy that has a really lumpy looking head?
I don't know. Let's look up real quick. Nah, I don't know.
Time for
Anyway, but like, are there rules against breaking someone's hand? It's not like he got it in a like a hand hold or something. Whatever, I don't know. Hand hold. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Rick Bruiser.
Um,
No, he doesn't look white.
he's totally a white dude.
Some dark pixels for a white dude.
He just has a tan.
Because he's from !!!! age ?
Yeah, there's Rick Bruiser and Nick Bruiser. I don't remember which one was the final boss, but the one before him, he would break your hands. He cheated.
Nick Bruiser.
Masked Muscle. He was the one who spit in your face. Mad Clown. The OG Juggalo.
My goodness.
Anyways, Donkey Kong Country is another game I love.
One of the dude's names. Oh God. One of the guys' names was Vodka Drunkensky.
Yeah, and then in the US version they changed it to Soda Popinski.
That's good. I like that.
That's wonderful.
vodka drunkens. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I love Donkey Kong Country. I liked it more than I know this is a controversial statement, but I liked it more than Super Mario World.
Hmm.
First of all, I was a sucker for the graphics. I thought it was like the best thing I've ever
It
seen.
did look good.
At that time, when games like that and Killer Instinct and Vector Man came out, like when Vector Man came out, I was like, this is the best graphics is ever gonna get.
Dude, I thought Vector Man looked great.
Exactly.
And it's
Weren't
just like
you
a bunch.
impressed?
It's just a bunch of circles, you know.
And it
but,
was like, whoa.
but it was like well animated circles.
And it looked
It
3D.
looked 3D because they had them layered and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was like, man, this is the best graphics ever gonna get. Donkey Kong Country, I was like, whoa,
I was like,
It's-
is this 3D?
it's never gonna get better than this. This is real life.
Is this real life?
But like, I loved Donkey Kong Country. I thought it was a really fun game. I heard somewhere that Miyamoto apologized for that game because it was too easy or something like that. I
What?
thought it was a really fun
I
game.
don't remember that.
And I remember it got really hard at the end too.
I
so-
don't remember how Donkey Kong Country ended difficulty wise, but I know Donkey Kong Country 2 got pretty hard.
Especially
Especially getting to like the crystal levels, because that was essentially the star world of the
in Donkey Kong Country
Yeah.
1, I feel like the difficulty raised up a lot when you get to the snow world
Mhm.
because of all the sliding and everything. It was really hard to
Yeah.
control.
Yep.
But I just thought it was a really fun game. I thought it was really well done. It had two characters that played slightly differently,
Mhm.
which just was a really cool dynamic.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And it had co-op, and it was really cool.
When you
No,
jump on them.
I feel like that was a much more fun co-op than I mean, it does have like the take turns co-op, that was in Mario.
Yeah.
But playing as one player as Donkey Kong, the other one as Diddy Kong is a much more fun gameplay cooperative experience than you're like, oh, I'm gonna play until I die, and
Yeah.
now it's your turn. You play until you die.
Yeah.
That is like a really lame way of.
Yeah, I
having
didn't
co-op.
like it in the original Mario games. Was like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like just Donkey Kong Country, like all of them really. It's distinct in my memory. Like I just like the sounds, the music, the different levels. It's just extremely memorable.
I loved the final boss. Like
Oh,
not
what-
only the music
wait,
was
which
amazing,
one?
the King K. Rool.
Okay.
Like the music was so awesome, where it gets into like electric guitar and everything. Which fun fact for the listeners, that's the inspiration for the Out of Continuous main theme. So, anyways, not only was it a really cool song, but like it was a really cool fight too because he faked it out.
The end.
Yeah, like all the credits start rolling, and like all the names were like
Cute gif of Donkey Kong looking in the fridge and the bananas are gone. You know what you get? Have you seen that gif?
no,
Oh God.
but like all the names were the enemies.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah, for the credits and stuff
yeah,
like that.
and
Yep.
the credits, and then it says the end with a question mark, and then he gets back up and you fight him. I was like, whoa, this is so cool. I love that game so much. I liked it a lot more than 2 and 3. I feel like especially with 3, they got overboard with like the collectibles, and they had like banana birds and like DK coins and K Rool coins, and like there's just way too many collectibles.
Well, that's the inspiration for all the games that we have now made by Ubisoft.
Well,
Collect
I
all
was-
these
well,
feathers and
well, I was
all
gonna-
of these flags and all of these.
What I was gonna say is that's where Rare started going out of hand with their collectibles, because Banjo,
Yeah.
that came afterwards, and Banjo 2 had even
Yeah.
more. Like I think Banjo 2 has like 20 different collectibles.
Oh my goodness.
There are too many collectibles. Oh, from the animated series.
It's like, oh no, not good. The animated series. Oh, so good.
Anything else Nintendo you guys want to talk about?
Something more modern. Splatoon seems to be getting a lot of positive feedback.
Mhm.
I don't think I've heard anything negative about that game so far. Like, I mean, even that last episode that I was on with Cody, he really
It seemed like it lacked content in the beginning, but
Oh, the content was there.
the content was there.
It was locked on
It
a
was,
disc.
yeah, locked on
Yeah.
the disc.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been getting a lot of positive feedback, and everyone's enjoying it from
It
what I've
looks fun.
been hearing, and it does look fun. I kind of want to try it.
You
But-
can just install Team Fortress 2 and then get the Splatoon user-made
Oh
level,
gosh,
Perfect.
which does exist.
the fan art for that it's not okay. People on their fan art, it's not okay.
Aren't they posting stuff on the Miiverse or whatever it is? Like, I keep seeing people post stuff, which is like,
It's not okay.
yeah, no.
It's not okay.
Anyways, while we wrap this up,
Sure.
like favorite, since we talked a lot of games, let's talk about the
Games.
favorite platforms real quick.
Sure.
Okay.
For me, as far as like console wise, it was the Super Nintendo. I think
Mhm.
that was one of it, to me. It's one of the best consoles. Had a lot of really great games, and it had a controller that was reasonable.
Yeah.
But as far as like handhelds, it's a draw between GBA and the DS.
Mhm.
Like both those had really great games. You guys, Ali?
Kevin, you want to go first?
Sure. I'd have
sorry.
to say my favorite console that they made is probably Nintendo 64, because I did spend a lot of time with games like Super Mario 64, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark. Even the Super Mario Party games were fantastic. They did have a weird controller, but I guess a lot of people didn't really. A lot of people dealt with it. So
Because we only have two hands.
yeah, except those Japanese who have three hands, but
Hey man, they're 25 years ahead of us. They've got the
they've
technology.
mutated, they've evolved.
We have the technology.
And I'd have to agree with you on the DS for being the best handheld, because it's proven to be a solid handheld, and a lot of people. I mean, I personally didn't. I had a DS Lite, and then I traded that in to get a 3DS, but I played more on the 3DS. But I think like overall, just the DS line in general.
When
was
I
very
had
successful.
the DS, I felt like I had something from the future. Like, like what smartphones are for us today.
Yeah,
I felt like that's what the DS was for me back then, because like you could do so much with it, and also I got some homebrew
oh,
hardware that let me get some software and use the DS as like
Get some totally legit.
MP3 player.
Totally.
Nice.
Yeah, it did have that. Yeah, MP3 player.
nice.
I
I
remember
did some
that.
homebrew stuff on my PSP. That was fun.
So
I did some homebrew stuff on my Vita.
I really
Yeah,
nice.
but like none of the homebrew stuff. Well, one of them was actually pretty cool. Like you're able to stream your computer desktop to it,
Uh-huh.
but it was very like
Nintendo.
yeah. Anyway,
Nintendo.
I wanted to go last because it's hard to say what is my favorite, because kind of like Nintendo was a big part of my childhood. I mean, yes, we eventually got a PlayStation 1,
Yes.
but like we had an Atari 2600, but like between that Atari and getting the PlayStation 1, I played a lot of Nintendo and Super Nintendo, and then even after the PlayStation 1 came out, Nintendo 64. So like it was just it was a huge part of my childhood. Like I remember when we first got the sorry. We first got the Nintendo, and we bought it off some friends.
Hmm.
And so like essentially I mean, because they were getting the Super Nintendo at the time.
Oh, I see.
Like we were always almost like for a long time we were like one step behind everyone. So like we bought the Nintendo and we bought like a box full of games, and we bought it with like a Game Genie and most of the booklet for the Game Genie.
Our brother, when he saw that Game Genie, he got a little too excited. He was like, "A Game Genie, awesome!" And he stuck it in the wrong way.
Oh, no.
So he didn't even know what to do with it. He just stuck it in the wrong way, and it got stuck. I was so mad at him because I thought he broke the Nintendo
No,
because he just stuck it in. Like the way how the Game Genie is designed. Like let me try to get a picture of that.
So
real
so
quick.
you know how like when like Sega Genesis and stuff, they had like you know all those like different connectors, those like cartridges that plugged into a cartridge. So
Yeah.
but yeah, like I remember
Cartridge
I remember he plugged in the handle part of it.
Okay, so let me screen share this real quick.
Yeah, he plugged that in.
Okay.
I didn't know what a
Okay,
Game Genie
so
was at
as
first. I
you
thought it was a
can,
game.
if you're
but-
watching the video, you can see this is the cartridge part. This connects to you slide the cartridge, your game cartridge into that,
yeah,
and so this golden part goes into the NES first, and then this handle part is used to pull
Pull
the
it.
whole thing out,
yeah,
so that the Game Genie does not get stuck inside
yeah.
your NES. So what my brother did is he stuck this handle in first.
Yep. I remember that too. He
He was-
just
He got a little too excited. He was like, "Game Genie, awesome!" And he just jammed
did
it
he know
right
what a
in.
Game Genie was? Did you know what a
We
Game
saw
Genie was?
commercials of Game
Oh,
Genie.
I had no idea what a Game Genie was. I
We
thought
saw commercials of Game
I
Genie.
thought it was a game at first,
No.
and then like I remember I just started looking at the book because I was really young
okay,
at the time.
here's another picture.
Yeah, there you go.
It shows a cartridge hooked up to it.
That looks like Duck Hunt and Mario.
Yes.
Super Mario Bros.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
let's stop the screen share.
it was really cool. So like you got to play like a bunch of games, and even like the games that were stupid hard.
Mm-hmm.
You got to, like we would put in. I don't know. I would put in a bunch of codes to just so I could get through them. Like Dick Tracy, that game was like impossible. Have you beat that game?
Not even with Game Genie.
I got through. I feel like most of it. I don't think I beat it 100%, but I would have.
Just real quick, as bad of a game that was, I feel like it was an awesome detective game because the fact that we had to have like a notebook next to us and like take notes
Yeah.
on like the crime and like try to figure stuff out,
Yeah.
like where to go next. Yeah, it like had some really
it was
cool.
L.A. Noir before L.A. Noir.
It had really cool detective aspects to it, but like the game was just so stupid.
The combat was like super stupid.
It was. It was like this.
So you're right, just like Ellen.
I had
when you- like
Dang.
imagine like Retro City Rampage where you're driving around the city, and then when you get to an area, you get out of the car, and then it becomes like this 2D platformer / beat 'em
Yeah.
up.
Huh.
yeah,
And we had like the Turbo Touch
dude,
controller.
that was so cool.
so
So
we're-
we turn on turbo.
you're punching like as fast as possible.
It's like seriously, it's just like his fist was almost consistently out, and like people would run. You know, they'd like do the like two sprite run up to
Yeah.
you, and they'd just go like,
And even then, the
know,
game was
that's hilarious.
like it was so hard.
yeah. It was yeah. I mean, there was what was it like Dragon Sword or something like that? I forget what that game was called.
Demon Blade.
Demon Blade. That game was so like I felt awesome. You just like run around. You like jump like
Demon Blade is a like a carbon copy of another game that came out before it was, which was called like Kage's Revenge.
Hmm.
It was like the exact same game, like had like the same graphics, pretty much same gameplay.
I didn't know that, but it was still an awesome game.
It was a dumb game.
I don't know, man.
Well, anyways, so did you say what your favorite platform?
You know,
From what it sounds like NES.
well, I was just reminiscing. I really like the SNES too. N64. I mean, I still play games.
Come
from
on,
that
now we gotta
today.
wrap this up. We got plenty of news to talk about.
I'll just go ahead and say NES.
All right.
Because I remember that.
Favorite handheld?
Yeah. I never actually
Game Boy
owned.
Color.
Yeah. I played the
Game
Game
Boy
Boy
Color was
Color, but like never owned it because that was your Game Boy Color.
I gave it to you eventually.
Oh,
And it had Pokemon Red,
Pokemon Red. Yeah.
which was an awesome game.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, listeners, I tweeted and Facebook, no one replied. But if you still wanna tell me why you love Nintendo or your favorite Nintendo, whatever, write into podcast@continues.com. I'm still open to that, even though no one answered my call out. Still, that's fine. Let's move on though. So, Ali,
Yes.
do you ever feel like you love Nintendo so much that you want to show the world how much you love Nintendo?
Maybe sometimes. Why do you ask?
Like, do you ever have that urge to make maybe a Nintendo fan page for a secret group of Nintendo fans to talk about cool new
Well,
Itagaki games?
well, I do feel like there are a lot of other amazing fans that make web pages of those things. But yeah, I think I could do that.
All right.
Why do you ask?
Because you can do it yourself too.
Oh, really?
Yes. If you go to DreamHost, because they're a web service that
Oh.
they offer unlimited storage, unlimited bandwidth,
Wow.
unlimited user-friendly interface,
It's
good.
unlimited.
Yeah.
unlimited
Unlimited
ability to share your Nintendo love,
With the people around you.
and they're also
your
optimized.
fandom
Yes.
of Nintendo.
And they also optimized to use content managers such as WordPress
I use WordPress.
and many more features. All that just for $8.95 US a month.
That's cheaper than Netflix too.
Yes, but wait.
Oh.
For this sad occasion of Nintendo,
For
in
this
memory of Iwata,
somber.
the somber occasion, in memory of Iwata, I am giving you this amazing promo code.
And DreamHost is giving us this opportunity as well.
This you can use this promo code. Av continues. That's one word, no spaces. Just this is specifically for this occasion.
It's-
So
Yep.
if you put in that promo code,
It
it'll
expires
waive,
never.
it'll waive away the setup fee and get you a free domain registration.
You know,
So you can, if you
God
hurry,
bless Nintendo.
if you hurry, you can get your domain registered as Iwata made Nintendo
.com.
amazing
Iwata.
.net.
.nin.
Yeah, .nin.
I don't think you could get .nin. I'm not gonna false advertise.
Dot. Put N and then .in. Because
Indiana.
yes, .in exists.
Yep.
What about Iwata rip in pieces? Rest in peace, pieces. In pieces.
Rip in peace.
Rip in peace. Rest in peace. In peace.
So much.
Hey,
peace.
man. I don't know. Some hoodlums run through graveyards sometimes, man.
They're just asking to do a beautiful Sudoku.
Yeah.
So,
Such
anyways,
a shame to their family. They should
yep. Quick
do a
announcement.
Sudoku.
Quick announcement, real quick. We can use iTunes reviews. So if you're an iTunes user, we'd really appreciate if you leave an iTunes review. It is one of the single most helpful things you can do for the show, because any reviews is better than no reviews at all. And Apple goes by a week basis. So we could use those reviews to help spread the word of the show, helps us get on the podcast charts. But if for whatever reason you cannot leave a review, or if you already left a review, another way you can help us out is by sharing the podcast through social media networks. So we post every episode on Monday on Facebook and Twitter. So if you like the post, you favorite it on Twitter, retweet it, share it on Facebook, that really helps. Or if you go to avcontinues.com, click on the episode, and there's share buttons for Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, and Reddit. Only those 4. So, that would really help us out, help spread the word. I mean, the easiest thing to do is just click like on Facebook. That's so easy. It doesn't show up on your wall, but it shows up on your friends' feeds, so that it helps share the podcast, and we'd really appreciate it. So, yeah. Anyways, let's move on to the news. We'll go to screen share in a moment. Let me get the web browser up, and we're sharing. All right. So this first article we got, this was announced like during Comic-Con.
Yep.
So last week when we were recording, Comic-Con was still going on, so we didn't get all the announcements yet. So this one, Marvel says that they will make console games next year. Basically, they pretty much noted, we haven't had much stuff showing up on consoles lately. Most of the stuff has been mobile games and stuff, but they're like, hey, you gotta realize console, it's longer development time, and so we're going with more of a quality rather than quantity. So expect to see some console games next year, and it's been a while since there have been like Marvel games. I think the last Marvel game that came out was like Disney Infinity 2.0.
Yeah.
Which is basically, an add-on to Disney Infinity to add Marvel characters.
Just like how Disney Infinity 3.0 is just essentially add Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah. So like there hasn't really on.
They should get Rocksteady to make some Marvel games.
It's Warner Brothers. They're never going to do that.
Yeah.
Plus, they're just going to release.
I guess the
Are they owned by Warner Brother, or does Warner Brother just publish their games?
I think they just publish. But
I was about to say, I guess the another Marvel game that came out recently was Lego Marvel, but that was more of a deal between was it TT Games?
Yeah.
And
I feel like those Lego games don't really count like for the main.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Well, I mean,
Lego Marvel is like one of the best Marvel games.
That's not saying much. Honestly, that's not saying much.
Hey, there's been some good Spider-Man games.
yeah,
When's the last good Spider-Man game come out?
a lot of people like.
A lot of people
Amazing
were like Shattered
Spider-Man.
Dimension.
Yeah,
Oh, really? Okay. I remember the PlayStation 1 games; those are pretty cool.
But yeah, either way, they
I
didn't
played
really.
a demo of one all the time.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's what I mean when I.
Yeah. Whatever demo disc came with the PS1
Dude,
when I
that
bought
was-
that, I
this
played that
is great.
Spider-Man game so much.
where you fight what's his
Fight
name?
the thugs in that like virtual reality world.
I remember fighting the Green Lantern, or is that not Green Lantern, Green Goblin?
Yeah, you're getting stuff mixed up now. Green Lantern.
Yeah,
But yeah, with this announcement, they didn't say what game that is going to come out, but they did also remind everyone that they have the partnership with Telltale, and Telltale is going to be making their Marvel game.
I wonder how
next
that's
year.
going to go. Telltale has a lot of.
It's going to be a Daredevil game.
I really don't care for Telltale anymore, to be honest.
The whole screen's going to be black.
They're diluting
The world's on fire.
and the screen's going to be black, and it's still going to run at like 5 frames per second.
Got to keep that up to cinematic feel.
Yeah,
But since we're talking about Marvel games, Activision's Deadpool game returned to Steam
Yeah,
for some reason. No announcement. It's really weird because
they're taking advantage of the fact that Batman is no longer on the Steam store, and they're like, "Wait a minute, people want a superhero game to play.
well,
So we took down Deadpool. We might as well put it back during this time. It'll probably boost sales.
Well, it is. It did show up right after Comic-Con, and there was a lot of Deadpool for the movie,
Yeah.
the Deadpool movie. But the thing is, like, this game
Right
was
off the
pulled.
coattails.
It was pulled off of digital distribution, like right when Activision's license ended,
Yeah.
and also the Marvel vs. Capcom games got pulled as well because the license ended with Capcom as well. So basically, all the Marvel licenses were done. They're like, okay, get those out of our face. We're moving on with our lives. We're starting fresh with these new licenses.
Yep.
But I don't get why Deadpool came back.
I don't know.
Don't make sense.
Don't make no sense.
So this is your chance. If you wanted to play Deadpool, you can get it for $40.
Man, Activision. and
That's
their
too
prices.
much.
The
Yeah.
prices. They don't.
You know,
Never mind.
I picked this up because it was right after it got pulled, and like GameFly still had some keys that they're selling,
Oh yeah, I
Mhm.
remember that.
and I was like, okay, if I want to play this game, it might as well be now because otherwise it's gonna be gone forever. So I got it for like $8, and I played through it, and I was like, that was
A $5 experience.
yeah, it was a mediocre game. Like, it wasn't bad, but it was very mediocre.
Yeah. It ain't no Batman game.
It definitely is not a Batman game.
Have they fixed the Batman game enough for it to be?
We're going to
played?
talk about that
Okay.
next.
Okay.
That is the next article right now.
Oh no.
The report says Batman PC fix won't hit until September at the earliest.
Man.
So,
Which means not until 2016 or holiday.
Man.
so basically,
Yeah,
what's
they
going
won't be on-
That
is
sucks.
It's ridiculous. They should have just taken the time, or
They
just
just
not
delayed the PC
just delete
version.
do a
Because
an asymmetrical release. That would have been better than like releasing it and then taking it off the store. And now by the time they re-release it, people are not going to be interested in it
Mhm.
as much as they were when the game released. So hype is going to die down.
It's
People are
still-
gonna be
it's still a
busy
great
with other
game, though.
games, and then they're just going to not make as many sales as they could have done if they just delayed the game initially.
So basically, what we learned here is that Kotaku Australia got an email they obtained an email from EB Games.
Mhm.
I think EB Games Australia,
Mhm.
and it said that don't put Batman back on the shelves until Batman for PC back on the shelves until spring. And in Australia, spring starts in September. So, well, it says at least
Man, they
until
really are upside down.
Yep.
So they're not
Oi.
expecting. You are not a caregiver.
You talking about me, mom?
So from this, we
Sure,
learned that they
Bobby.
are not expecting the PC fix to come out anytime before September. It can be after September, but it definitely not coming out before September.
I suspect a holiday re-release.
Like, this is very like it's so crazy because the fact that it's taking this many months for the fix,
Something
It-
really went wrong.
something really went wrong. Plus, they definitely should not have released the game if there was
Yeah.
this many months to make a fix.
It's a shame because the game really is great.
It looks amazing visually.
Like
because
the
they're using
dude, even the PS2 version. Like, I mean,
the PS2 version.
I am, dude.
Man, I didn't realize they went
I am
back 2
full.
generations.
I am full potato
Is
today.
this by Itagaki?
Yeah, that's exactly. I was thinking of Devil's Third. It's like have you seen that? Yeah, I gotta shut. Oh man. Anyway, the PS4 version. I'm sorry.
Man, I didn't realize
even the PS2 version's better.
It would be
Yeah.
if the PS2 was still supported.
Yeah, right. But yeah, even like the PS4 version. Like, I mean, seriously. Like, I look at those graphics, and the only thing bad about that game on that console is the aliasing, and even then, that's for distant objects.
Yeah.
Like, everything like up close is super crisp. Like the motion blur is amazing. The textures, the shaders, the particle effects, because they put so much work into that game. I just 200%ed that game last night. I 200%ed it.
Adam wants to borrow it from you.
Well, I'm still
200%.
getting the platinum trophy, so I should be done with that.
You
this
200%
weekend.
of the game, and you still don't have the platinum trophy.
Yeah, yeah. One of the achievements is glitched, so there's a way to get
Oh,
it.
I
So I'm
see.
working on getting it. But I got all but one.
Yeah, I mean, it does look like it visually
It
looks really
looks
good,
amazing.
but they've screwed up the PC version because it doesn't even have the rain on like accumulating on the cape or the Batmobile.
So
As soon as you get in the
Which-
Batmobile, it drops the frames down to like 5 FPS.
Man,
So we have a quote here. It says, "At this time, we believe we have identified a number of fixes for the larger issues that were affecting PC players at launch." That's what the community manager for the game wrote at the time. These fixes are currently being implemented into the game, and once we have been able to do some initial testing, we'll have a better idea on the status of our progress.
See, like one of the few things that also like baffles me is one, it's still Unreal 3, so it's something that they were that is the most used engine in the industry.
but they implemented a
They
lot
did implement a lot of stuff. Plus, they did
stuff.
use the. I don't know if you remember seeing the Samaritan demo. Of
Yeah,
Unreal 3.
that's
that's
exa-
the
yeah.
level of the engine
Yeah,
that they're
That
using.
Samaritan demo was awesome.
It was
They implemented
Yeah.
almost every single feature from that Samaritan demo.
yeah, and that's probably why because like. But the thing is
And
that
it runs so well on PS4. I don't know
Yeah.
how they broke it on PC.
Yeah. like, it just
How?
doesn't make any sense.
I mean, this was the second
well,
time.
they weren't the ones working on
Well,
it.
yeah, but,
Well-
but like this was the second time I was playing the game, and I just 200%, and I was still dumbfounded by the graphics and how amazing they looked. Yes, I got so dumbfounded. I thought it was PS2.
It was so bad. It was so
So
good.
good, yeah, right. No, but like seriously, it's just it's just like
Yeah.
I keep using the PlayStation Share feature, but like to save screenshots.
Yeah.
And I know those pictures won't do it justice because they have like 80% like JPEG screenshots, which
compression, yeah.
is not good enough.
Yeah.
They need PNG support. Man, that game looks so good. Have you seen it in person?
Not in person.
Man, videos don't do it justice.
I
man.
know. I
Like all the
know.
Twitch streams you might be watching,
Yeah.
not justice.
I haven't watched anything on it yet, except for
It's
the
not
review.
Batman justice.
It is
Batman's
night.
Hammers of Justice.
That game's so
It
good.
is the night.
Anyway,
It is darkness.
I'll just keep talking about how good the game looks, so we should move on.
All right.
One thing. Well, yeah.
Yes.
okay.
All right. Go ahead, Kevin.
This is kind of. I mean, it's on the same topic, but I mean, like, it bothers me that they put so much emphasis on the Batmobile being a tank. I just want to put that out there.
You know, I got used to it. Yeah, I got used to it.
The little bit I've played of the game, I thought it was like irony or satire. The fact that I was running over people and like the only thing that happened was that they got electrocuted.
Because they, yeah, I mean, all if you remember,
They get electrocuted so hard they fly.
like why are they getting electrocuted? Wouldn't that make it worse?
It's
don't
funny.
you remember the Michael Keaton Batman where
So-
his Batmobile was actually electrocuted so that if anyone else touched it but him, they would get shocked?
So what happens is they get electrocuted so hard, all their muscles tense up, and it creates a barrier for their bones and internal organs.
Man, those muscles have to be so strong in the initially.
Hey man, those guys are beefcakes.
That's true. They are like Gears of War.
Oh, it's the
No,
bats. Do you even lift, bat?
Your mother's not even gonna recognize you
you
when I'm done.
skip leg day so much, your mom's not gonna recognize you.
Oh,
But I
man.
mean, like you get past that whole cognitive dissonance type thing because I mean there are other games that are a lot worse about that, like Red Dead Redemption and whatnot. But and like my friend was over yesterday, and I was like, you know, blasting through people like with the with the Batmobile, just had my boosters on, like plowing through everyone and their cars blowing up and everything. So, but you know, but like
it seems
honestly,
like they're
the
just
honestly-
Michael Baying the whole thing.
honestly, the controls for that thing are a lot less. Once you get used to it, are a lot less frustrating than the controls for Batman.
Really?
Yeah, because there's so much stuff for him to grab onto now.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, like even sometimes like you'll like be gliding really fast and then you'll try to like land on a building and he'll like, he'll kind of like spread out, like, when he slows down before the ground. But the thing is he misses the building, so he'll just kind of keep floating down like a 50-story building until it gets to the bottom, and then he's just like, it's
Batman.
funny. Yeah, exactly. He just like
he just parachutes down essentially with his cape.
and
That's what
like
he's doing.
I got messed up in combat a lot of times because they have even more people now, and
Oh,
like
man.
there's a lot of things. So I mean, honestly, like you'll get past the Batmobile. Like,
Yeah, I really want them to make an actual. I really like the detective stuff that you did in Arkham Origins. I
Mhm.
thought that was brilliant because that's what Batman does. And
Yeah.
at least if you like,
they
for me, Batman is
they have some
the
of
animated
that.
series.
like they're gonna run out of excuses as to why the city doesn't have civilians.
Right, I was listening to another
Like-
podcast, and they were like, "Man, they've evacuated Gotham so many times. You would think that people would just never come back."
No, it's like New Orleans, man. That
When-
place
when-
gets flooded every single time.
When are they
People
going to
come
have a
back.
Batman game
The
where
parties
like
are
there's
good.
civilians walking around? You save civilians.
Yeah, see, like I remember playing some Spider-Man game, and that was really cool, where you actually had this open world with lots of like civilian people there, and there were just like random encounters.
Spider-Man,
of-
get my balloon.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So, I mean, it would be cool if they did that. Like,
I got it for you. It's just like, don't you have better things to do?
Nope.
Spider-Man.
He wants to impress the kids.
That's all right.
see, the thing is, it might not work in Unreal though, because Unreal, as great of an engine as it is, it's not made for open world games. It's not made for loading tons of
Next Batman game.
character
I
maps.
Made in
don't
Unity,
know, man.
confirmed.
Like even on a console, this game is super well, and you could navigate the whole map like pretty quickly because like with all the Batman upgrades, like you could like zip line boosts and
Mhm.
then you got the Batmobile, you could like eject out of it and go flying. You could cover like half of the map
You
really
could
quickly.
Play as Michael Keaton. now.
And the draw distance for the actual NPCs is quite high too.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I mean,
you go
this-
into detective mode and you see like all the people.
Yeah.
And it's not just like in the older games on like PS3 and Xbox 360, it'll just show
On
like
PS2.
yes on PS2, it'll show like the little blue like it looks like they're people, but if you zoom in on it, it's just like a blue like blob,
Yeah.
just kind of like shifting around.
The camera's not on you, so all your hand
Well,
movements are.
I'm doing it for you guys. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, they actually draw a lot of that stuff in this game. So it's
I just
impressive technically.
I do like. I mean, what they've done. Obviously, the Batman games are highly regarded, and they are fun. But I still want them. Like, if they were to do another Batman game, hopefully not in the Arkham series. Like, they just completely did a whole new Batman game, made it much more detective based, less confrontation, and more like what Batman would have done in like the animated
You
series.
interrogate people, and one of the buttons always makes you yell. And
Where is she? As long as they don't make him talk
and
like
when you
Christian Bale
when you get
Batman.
near when you get near key items, the music starts playing.
and, and then a fireplace moves down before he
There
even
you go.
realizes.
There you go. I mean, you guys will like it though. Whenever you guys start playing it, you'll like it.
Yeah.
It's a
No,
good game.
yeah,
Whenever
I'll
I start
definitely
playing it
enjoy
next year.
Yeah, that's right.
when it comes back out. Next
And just so you know, they do have some detective.
Yeah, I figured
things
they would because
from
they
Origins.
yeah,
Like they have the like the whole reviewing like video clips, and they've got
Yeah.
other things.
I just want a less violent Batman because that's not who he is. They're basically taking Christopher Nolan Batman and making a game out of it. But I think like as far as the
You mean
lore,
Michael Keaton Batman? Because he killed people.
yeah,
Michael Keaton Batman didn't care. he didn't have the rule number one.
yeah. I'm not even sure what they're gonna do now with the new Batman in the comics where he has a gun.
The RoboCop
Yeah.
police mech suit.
Yeah, even the mech suit in
What is
Batman
DC
versus
doing?
Superman.
I don't know. I stopped reading DC after Convergence.
I don't know, man. They're kind of. I like how I still think it's funny how Rocksteady does better DC than DC does.
Yeah. No, like I would definitely say like if I were to take all of the variations of Batman that have ever been done, the Arkham games have the best representation
Mhm.
of the Batman universe. Like all
Oh, yeah.
all of the
Yeah,
villains.
I love all the lore that they put
Yeah,
into it.
like they have the best representation of all of the characters and the world. But I just think that it's a little too aggressive.
Whenever you guys beat that game, I do want to talk
Next
about
year.
it with you guys. No, seriously, I do want to talk about it with you guys.
They should give me a free game.
Yeah, because you did buy it. and-
Yes.
But you bought
bought
on
it, like,
Nuvo.
super discounted.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway,
Doesn't Ubisoft gave free games for people who bought Unity.
because that's a bad game.
Man.
Unity.
Anyways, let's move on.
Yep.
All right. So next article here we have I can't pronounce this guy's name. Kenji Saito, I believe. Anyway, so he's one of the directors of Platinum Games. He was the director for Metal Gear Rising, and like basically he was talking about like on Twitter like what he wants to work on next because they're wrapping up production on the Transformers game that's supposed to be coming out soon,
Mhm.
next couple months or so, and you know he got to work on the Star Fox game, you know, the new one that got out or showed off during E3,
Mhm.
and you know that was one of his dream projects to work on a Star Fox game. And then he said on Twitter, he mentions that he would like to make either a game based off of Kill la Kill or Berserk, which are two different animes.
I don't know anything about Kill la Kill, but I think new Berserk would be cool.
I watched one episode of Kill la Kill, and it was basically like hentai Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay. No,
Like
thanks.
you have naked women with like mech suits or something.
Well, that's realistic.
It
Though.
was
The mech suit is their armor, so it doesn't matter how irrelevant.
It's
They're
okay.
They don't
so,
need clothing.
So let's imagine. All right, Vegeta is
Over 9,000.
a teenage girl, and
Is she a 14-year-old stuck in a? No, is she a 1,000-year-old stuck in a 14-year-old body?
I think
because that's what really matters.
I think she's a 14-year-old stuck in the 18-year-old body.
Oh, okay, there you go.
But either way, so Vegeta, female girl, teenager, goes to a school that's run by Vegeta Hitler, teenage girl, or
It's
adult,
always-
adult woman.
It's always
Adult woman,
a bunch of girls at a school
Yes.
with anime.
and they both have swords that like activate like
That's why they're
mech
so smart.
suits, and then they fight each other, and they're practically naked. I was like, how are people saying this? I checked out because people were like, this is amazing, and I watched an episode. I was like, I will never watch another episode of this. This
They
was-
probably just like it for the
Are you serious?
girls.
yeah. I was like, this is worse than They're Alive.
Oh man, that was bad.
Yes, it was worse than They're Alive for me, and I was like, nope. So, but Berserk though, I used to be a big fan of Berserk.
You had that one game on Dreamcast, didn't you?
Yeah, I had Sword of Berserk for Dreamcast, which was
It's kinda-
awesome.
Yeah,
it
it
was
like,
stupid hard.
yeah.
Had what has like one of the hardest bosses in an action game ever.
Just like how you had that giant sword and just cleaving through things.
Which like got me into reading the manga and watching the anime, and I was like, this is insanity. At the time, I really liked it, but in retrospect, I'm like, that's disgusting.
yeah, that shows or not show just the manga and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really
It is like, all right, imagine everything in this world that is considered evil.
Mhm.
Put it in, and that's all of that is in this manga.
like if you look at demons,
drug use, rape, demons, Satanism, like all that is in there.
there are a lot of berserk
Genocide.
references in Demon's Souls. Like a lot of people like just 1-to-1 comparisons with that.
You know,
Interesting.
Yeah.
I never thought of it until like after reading Berserk, but Japanese really know how to make demons look disgusting.
Yeah.
Like when Western makes demons, they basically, oh, this guy has horns and a pitchfork.
Yeah.
Ah, goat legs.
Mhm.
Now Japanese, they're like, okay, let's give it 13 mouths, no eyes, a bunch of
Well,
teeth coming out of everywhere.
The thing is, like, their demons were that though. Like, way back when they believed all that stuff, those were their demons.
yeah,
like-
like it was
Like the masks
disgusting.
that like samurais would wear with like the big mouths and whatever and
Mhm.
stuff like that. Those were like images of representative of like different demons and stuff like that.
Their demons
It
are
was-
nasty compared to Western demons.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, this stuff's
But-
crazy.
I
It's crazy, dog.
It's
also
crazy.
Berserk just recently had a new anime. Like it's the same story, it's just like redone with like new animators and in HD. It's on Netflix right now. Like it's 2 like 90-minute movies or something like that.
Okay.
I have not watched them, so I don't know how far into the story it goes. But Berserk is a really long manga that's still not finished. It's been
Yeah.
going on for like a couple of decades now.
Oh wow.
That sword must be pretty dull by now.
I from what I heard from fans, the like for the longest while, like during the 2000s, they're waiting for Guts, the main character,
Mhm.
to get on a boat. Like like for years, they're like, when's he gonna get on the boat? When's he gonna get on the boat? And now he got on the boat, and now the question is, when's he gonna get off the boat? Because he's been on the boat for years now, or something. I don't know. Like I
Can't find a wind
I
or
didn't even-
something.
I
No,
didn't
no
even-
sail.
I didn't even get that far in the manga. It kept on going for a really long time.
Did he
and then-
forget the oars? He
It's like,
could use his
well,
sword, just kind of.
But either way, I think a Berserk game would be really cool by Platinum Games, because
I want. Oh, go ahead.
oh the Dreamcast game was awesome.
Oh yeah, it looked pretty cool.
There was a PS2 game that was also made, but only came out in Japan.
Oh,
It takes place before the Dreamcast game. Because the Dreamcast game actually does fit in the mangas. It takes place between certain chapters.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't. I mean, it's the story itself is not in the manga, but it's like in between certain chapters. But the PS2 game takes place before that, and supposedly that was really good, but it just never came out in the United States because Berserk is not a thing here.
I want an Attack on Titan game that's not on like the 3DS. Because
I've heard a lot of things about that show.
it's a lot of typical anime like soap opera stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but like all the combat and stuff and like just the lore behind it is kind of unsettling. So I like it. It's very unsettling.
And one of my
It's very
in one of my
unsettling.
Secret Wars comics,
Uh-huh.
at the end of the comic, there's a short Marvel Attack on Titan crossover that was commissioned and only came out in Japan, but
Huh.
then they decided, okay, let's just stick it in the back of this issue
Yeah.
of Secret Wars just because we can't really sell it since it's so short.
Yeah.
But like I didn't read it. I just looked at the art. I was like, this looks weird.
It's unsettling, man. Like, oh, mm-mm.
Like they got big teeth.
They got more than that, man. See, it's just like that. I want to play like that. I don't know. Never mind. That's off topic.
Japanese know how to make
Dude, yeah.
things creatures look ugly and
Like it's
yeah.
because it's like a human, like a humanoid,
Mhm.
and it so closely resembles a human, but it's like more like morphed and demented. It's like when you see, I don't know, if you have like a nightmare or something like that.
Yes.
It's like that, man.
Yeah.
It's just not okay.
Now
It's
when
not okay.
when
Yeah.
like let's say you're reading like any other Marvel comic and
Uh-huh.
there's some like demon Or
Yeah.
let's say you're reading DC Comics and you see Trigon, who is not Trigon. Yeah, I think that's his name, Trigon, who is like the king of demons.
Yeah.
He's basically a big red muscle guy with 6 eyes and
Uh-huh.
devil horns.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like
Like,
okay,
like all the aliens in Marvel, they're just like humanoids. It's like, okay.
it's like the,
But
the only
you,
thing that
you go to like Eastern Asia, you get that like just their historical like their stories they use as a base for it's like how I don't know. It's great, insane. I can't.
But yeah, that's
Anyway.
pretty much it. I think Berserk would be cool. Kill a Kill, don't
Yeah.
care because it would be worse than They're Alive. So let's move on. Maybe if you like change the age to 99, it would make the physics more jello-y.
Oh my god.
Bruh, I remember that. I remember that.
At first, I didn't realize what the age did, and then I looked it up online. I was like, "Oh, that's really dumb."
Yeah.
No wonder why it jiggled a lot.
Yeah.
I put on 99.
Like it's you just go to the options and it says age, and it goes from like what to
1 to 99.
yeah 1 to yeah.
What 1-year-old's gonna be playing the game?
But yeah, like I remember you put on 99 and we're like, why is it? It was just going like
It was way
from
too
like
high.
head to like belly button, like to the navel. It's just like woo. It's just like whoa,
All right.
calm down.
Little.
Let's move on to
Oh
the
my
next
Try Wonder Bra or
Topic.
something.
next news article and talk about everybody loves Raymond. Jade Raymond.
That's not that Raymond.
So
I used to watch that show.
So
watch
when
it
I
too.
first heard this article, I was confused because I was like, isn't Jade Raymond at Ubisoft?
She was.
She was.
Yeah.
Because it was like Jade Raymond starts a new team at EA, and I was like, wait, when she switch to EA?
Yeah, I don't remember when she switched, but I just remember hearing that she did.
Yeah,
So
left
she
Ubisoft,
was,
and she
uh,
just joined
Because
EA.
Ubisoft does.
For those who don't know, she
Stupid
was an
stuff.
executive producer at Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Probably
So
tired of Assassin's Creed.
Well, she's the one who led Unity, I think. But
I don't think she worked on Unity.
oh,
Yeah.
she didn't. Okay.
I looked at her Wikipedia page. It does not.
Oh.
She did work on Watch Dogs. Like the last games that
Hate
she
that
worked
game.
on or she managed were at Ubisoft were like Watch Dogs and Splinter Cell Blacklist,
Huh.
which I still haven't gotten around to that. But I heard
Apparently,
really good things.
Blacklist is pretty good.
Yeah,
It's more like the older Splinter Cell game.
I
which
have it installed, but
I need to buy it.
Need to get around to it.
Just don't buy Watch Dogs because that's a waste of money. I regret that purchase to this day.
Instant regret.
It's what got you into
Oh,
your
buyer's
Ubisoft.
remorse.
Yeah, it's the thing that started my Ubisoft boycott.
So
That
anyways,
did.
Yeah.
Of all the things that Ubisoft has done terrible over the years, it was that one that broke the camel's back.
I mean, it was all adding up, and then Watch Dogs just tipped it over.
So anyways,
Because
this,
y'all sheeple.
this
you follow way
article
too
here.
I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan.
Hey,
I was.
hey, let me at least get to this article.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, anyways, she has left Ubisoft, and I mean, her most notable games that she worked on, or was a producer for, were like Assassin's Creed 1 and 2. Specifically 2, since that was the better one. And she is now working with EA as she has her own studio now in Canada, and then she's also overseeing the Visceral Games Star Wars project that Amy Hennig is working on.
Yeah.
So
And that one I'm actually kind of excited for.
it seems like from what we've been seeing so far, with them picking up Jade Raymond, with them picking up Amy Hennig, it looks like they're really trying to pick up like these veterans of the industry who have like some really good games under their belt to try to work on these new Star Wars games, because not only like I mentioned the Visceral Games game, but this other studio that she's working on is also working on another Star Wars game.
Isn't she working with Hennig?
Yes,
Because Hennig's working on the Star Wars game too, right?
yes,
Yep.
the Visceral Games.
Yeah.
So with that said, it sounds like
I think it's neat that they have two very prominent female
Yeah.
directors.
hey,
Is their
that's sexist. What's that? What's them being female have to do with anything?
okay.
Amy Hennig is she's a creative director.
A creative director. Okay.
Jade Raymond is an executive producer,
Okay. Okay.
but a manager.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, this sounds like they want to take these Star Wars projects seriously.
And I'm very, very happy about that because I like Star Wars.
Da 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 da. Going on to the next article. So, Dead Island 2 loses its developer, Jaeger Games.
First one wasn't even that good. Why is it getting a sequel?
Well, the sequel was announced a while, like last year. Yeah, last year during E3. It had
and then it
not
was
paid
missing in
attention.
action this year.
I must have not paid attention. Oh wait, no, that's right. I do
it was
remember.
the trailer with the guy that was
Yeah.
jogging and then he turns to
Yeah.
zombie slowly.
Yeah,
And there's all the-
I completely I saw it and then I forgot about it because the first game was not.
I'm not gonna lie, I hate those headlines on videos like that. It's like super bolded, all caps, size 142 font.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that so much.
So
Got to be able to see the thumbnail.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's just like,
It's-
ugh.
this is, I mean, we didn't really get much information on this, but you know, Jaeger, they worked on Spec Ops: The Line, which I loved. That was an amazing game.
Mhm.
They were working on this, and now they pretty much said that they have dropped the partnership with Jaeger, and they're looking for a new they, as in Deep Silver,
Yeah.
since they own Dead Island.
Did
So they are looking for a new studio to pick up the project. I'm assuming
are there any details about like did Jaeger like
there's no very little
Uh.
details on why they dropped Jaeger.
are we sure they dropped it? It's like
No, it
are
says
you-
that they dropped Jaeger.
okay.
Yeah, and
Are we sure it's not the case of like, oh, I broke up with her. She didn't break up with me. Are you?
I don't know. Why would they?
I don't know, man.
I mean,
But-
if they have some issues between them, then that could be an issue.
But either way, like, I'd assume that if they picked up another studio, I don't think the new studio would continue this project after
Yeah.
what Jaeger has already made. I'd assume that they would start from scratch.
It's kind of like what Naughty Dog did with Hennig's work,
Mhm.
because Bruce Straley and what are the other guy?
I mean, like anytime
get
you're
the other
working on
guy's name.
any type of software, any type of those type of projects, and you know it gets passed along from one team to a completely different team, you look at the coding and you're like,
You look at everything, not
Yeah,
just the coding.
well, I mean, like, you know, you look at this, you look at it and you're like, how did they come up with this?
Who and what and where?
Yeah, like these comments are terrible. Or why did they not leave any comments?
Yeah, why are there no comments?
Well, hopefully they left comments. I mean, I'd assume that Jaeger would comment their code.
And they just have like files of concept art, and it's just like, what? What is this place?
It's
What
a
is this
zombie.
place supposed to be?
It's a Zambi.
Is this the main character? Or
Sammy.
is this like a dog or something? I don't know, man. They didn't leave any comments.
Well, I don't know. We didn't really get much information on this. I find this pretty interesting though, because you know I like Jaeger from
That was a
Spec
great
Ops: The
game.
Line,
Great game.
so I'd assume that you know they know what they're doing as far as being a game developer. But why would they drop? I don't get that. I want to know why.
Maybe they were taking it in a different direction than Deep Silver wanted it to.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Anyways, let's move on.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I hate this guy.
So, good friend of the show.
No, don't. Just
Good
don't.
friend of the show.
Don't even pretend.
Friend of the show. Randy Pitchford. What you want?
What you want?
He does that voice.
Does he?
That's him.
Of course it is.
Out of my face.
lot
Out
of-
of my face.
That sounds. Is it really him?
Yes, it's him.
A lot of the developers
It makes
did
sense.
the voices for that game, for those games.
It makes sense.
I went
He
to
would be the grumpy old man.
I went to the Gearbox
Where my
panel
face?
at PAX, and they did like a impromptu on stage dialogue thing, and he was doing his "What you want."
Yeah. No, a lot of they saved a lot of money by doing their own voices with the developers. They didn't hire very many voice actors for
So,
those
anyways,
games.
Randy Pitchford, as some of you might remember, Gearbox released Duke Nukem Forever, and he says that he wants to work on more Duke Nukem. Like he said that he didn't buy the franchise just so that they can release Duke Nukem Forever, and that's it. He said he wants to do more with Duke Nukem.
I still think Duke Nukem needs to die.
And he also
not
mentioned
relevant.
that Gearbox is too busy at the moment. So if any studio is interested in partnering up with them to work together, then they should contact him.
Here's your opportunity, Safa.
This is like a recipe for disaster, because how many times has Gearbox partnered up with other studios and
It was a disaster.
Yeah. Exactly. And honestly, I am surprised that they didn't just take Duke Nukem and made him a character in Borderlands. Just combine, just combine Duke Nukem into
What
this.
you want? I ain't got no bubble gum.
But seriously though, like I think Duke Nukem would fit in Borderlands.
Different, like a new spin on him. Yeah.
I think
in that universe, but Duke Nukem in the current understanding that we have of him, I don't think fits anymore. But the thing is, like, I don't know. Never mind.
Okay, but here's what I'm saying. He's a macho alpha male character who is supposed to have humor, and that is a character that would fit in the Borderlands universe.
But that one beefcake,
call him Nuke Dukem.
Well, they don't even need to do that because they already own.
Torg already exists in that game. So.
Yeah.
He's essentially
Macho Man.
He's Macho Nukem.
I think they should not make another Duke Nukem game.
I don't think so.
I
think
completely agree.
Unless they want to partner up with me and make Beware the Bully Duke Nukem edition.
Beware the Nukem.
There we go.
Beware the Duke.
The intro song is the tune for Duck and Cover. Beware the Nukem. Duck and Cover.
Be like, it's time to
that'll save you from a nuke. Duck and Cover, right?
Yep.
It's time to kick butt and
And
continue the game, but I'm all out of continues.
Oh my gosh.
How hard were you using your brain cells to think that up in that short of a time?
He's had this like in his mind.
I just came up with it
for a few years.
You know, if you look hard enough, I think you can see smoke coming out of his ears.
All right, let's move on.
Yes.
Okay, some movie/video game stuff that came out of Comic-Con. Wreck-It Ralph 2 confirmed and is in the works. I liked Wreck-It Ralph 1.
I did too. It was a really good movie.
I think the only issue that like most people that had an issue with it at all is that like the second half of the movie is not really a video game movie, and it's more of a Candyland
movie.
Movie. Like they just drop all the video game stuff and just it's candy.
It had some video game stuff. It had Space Marine stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like most of the video game stuff was
That's
like
what video games are: Space Marines and aliens.
Most of the video game stuff
candy.
was like before they got into that Candyland area, and then like once they get there, it's just candy puns. Oreo.
Oh man, that was hilarious.
It's just just a bunch of candy and like sweets jokes. So but like
I think they should make a game.
They should.
there is a game.
No, I mean like
It's on Android.
Like an actual game,
Yeah,
not a
like-
mobile game.
yeah, I didn't want to use those words. Not an actual game
It's-
because
Disney Infinity.
no, that's
Oh,
not.
Ali, take
Yeah.
him. But yeah, it's I like the movie. I had a lot of fun watching it, and I'd enjoy watching the second one. I feel like the second one they'd probably focus more on the the whole video game theme, and yeah. I
agree.
yeah, you agree?
I concur. What am I concurring with?
That
I
was a
think-
fun movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Close
Yeah,
to
I
go all
liked
the
it.
way. Yeah. So yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, I still
Um,
think they should do a game.
Disney Infinity.
I really don't like those. What would you call them? Like toy box type games. I don't like those. I really don't. I mean, of course, I'm not the market they're trying to appeal to, but I feel like they're just cramming a bunch of IPs into one place and not really doing anything with it. If that makes sense.
One thing that the first movie did that I don't think the second movie should do, but I really liked about the first movie is that it hit a bunch of like nostalgic notes.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these arcades, stuff like that. I mean, arcades isn't really a thing anymore.
Mm-hmm. No.
Like I don't think they should like make the focus arcades in the second one, because that it did hit a lot of nostalgic notes for like people of our age and older, but I don't think that it would hit those notes. I don't think it hit those notes as well for younger people, and I don't think they should continue to like try to hit those nostalgic notes in the second movie. Just more video games, just keep up with the the Mario and Sonic references and stuff.
Console wars.
That'll make everyone really
Sonic's the best. No, he's stupid.
Brian
He sucks.
Trusty just cheered.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, Ali, yeah. Come meet Yu Suzuki with me.
All right, let's move on.
He's a nice guy. I like Brian. His passion for Sega is
All right, so now we're
unrelenting.
we've these last couple of or last
Dedicated.
few articles I got here, not really video game related at all, but I still want to talk about them because they are of interest to me.
Okay.
So I know this is completely out of interest for you, Ali.
Do you really still watch that?
I watched all of season 3, which was the worst season of Arrow.
Yeah, I did finish it as well.
Did
So-
you did or didn't?
I did.
Oh my
It was the worst season, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I mean,
I don't know. It's more like we got
I'm
this.
hoping for season 4.
It was like we got this far, so
I've already started eating the poison mushroom, so I might as well finish it.
I mean, it's not like you're gonna be able to save yourself.
exactly.
I already started pulling the trigger on the gun pointed to my head. Might as well keep pulling
It's
it.
not that bad though.
So
I'm not killing myself. over
Stephen Amell,
Might as well be.
Stephen Amell, the actor of Arrow,
Oliver Queen.
yeah,
He
Oliver
is
Queen.
someone else. He is
So
something
he
else. Shut up, Kevin.
After season 3 finale, he mentioned that that's the last time he's gonna wear that suit. So it pretty much indicated that he was
So-
gonna get a different suit, and
Still green. Still looks like Green Arrow.
so
So no one.
I,
no one's
I,
gonna know.
I assumed it was going to be something that looked more like the comics,
Mhm.
which in the comics he has sleeveless.
Yep.
And yeah, he has a sleeveless shirt now. But yeah, I like this except for the shoulder pads.
The Slade shoulder pads. Stole them straight from Slade's body.
That's-
No,
Exactly.
no,
You
no.
just
You want
repainted them green.
you want to know who that reminds me of?
Bebop.
Oh, man.
That was the first thing that came to my mind when I saw those shoulder pads. I was like, wait a minute, are those turtle shells on his
Eat
shoulders?
the turtles.
Those were the days, man.
Yeah, so I don't dig the shoulder pads, but I think that's a fine looking costume other than the shoulder pads. Maybe I'll get used to them.
But
to them.
it doesn't fit the story because everyone thinks he's dead. Everyone hates him, so he's gonna change his costume
I
a
hate
little
him, and
bit.
I don't even know the
No,
up to date story.
Okay,
so.
okay. So someone put up this posted this image that Stephen Amell on his Facebook, he has meme Mondays. So basically he asks for his fans to make a bunch of memes and he'll post them. He'll repost them. And one of them basically has Quentin Lance, the chief of police on the show, and he's like Arrow, or sorry, it says the vigilante is Oliver Queen, and then it has a picture of this new image, and then it has Quentin Lance again looking confused, like, I have no clue who that guy is.
Exactly, that's the thing I'm worried about. You're like, everyone knows who I am. Oh, image just cut off the sleeves and no one will know.
Why don't he just like? Why don't he just steal Batman's costume?
Oh,
Batman with arrows.
Green Batman.
another thing
Man,
to
that
know.
bat looks sick.
Another thing to
It's the green
know
bat.
about this picture that they released is that it's very colorful. They said that the tone of the show is going to change in
so like
season 4.
Flash.
It's gonna change
It's
to brown and green.
Like they're going to be, he's going to actually do stuff during the day rather than
So it's
always
like
at
last-
night.
It's like last gen, brown and green.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean that's it as far as the
I
suit.
figured.
What'd you think, Kevin?
See, I almost was
I think Rocksteady can make an Arrow
a
game.
better Green Arrow game than the show. Well, I don't know. Like,
And then for the show they could, use what Rocksteady used to direct them to a better place called Good Showland.
good show. Like,
Yes.
see, so I know that Thea now has Arsenal's outfit.
I thought she died.
Spoiler alert.
They brought her back to
Of
life
course they did.
with the Lazarus Pit.
Of course they did.
So that's going to open up the possibility of her going crazy because of the Lazarus Pit.
So now that-
if she wasn't crazy enough,
even though she has Arsenal's suit, it fits her perfectly.
Yes.
Even though she's slimmer.
no.
So I honestly believed for a while that even though I knew for a long time that he was faking his involvement with the League of Assassins, but I almost kind of want him to maybe stay with the League and kind of work things from that side while Arsenal and Althea takes care of things.
No, she's Red Arrow.
Okay, yeah, Red Arrow.
She even said it in the end. She was like, "You call me Red Arrow."
Yeah, that's right. So
That's
then the Jedi's come in and save the world.
how I feel about all of this.
I don't,
good battle
I don't
scene,
like
okay?
how they
That
killed
battle
off.
scene was amazing.
I don't like how they killed
Better
off
than
Ra's
anything
al
Arrow will
Ghul.
pull off.
Yeah.
Of course they did.
I don't
Well-
like how they killed him off because
well,
he's
they
like one
would
of the
have
biggest.
to.
And he's one of the biggest bad guys in DC. And
Yeah.
they killed him off.
Well,
And the arrow killed
yeah,
him.
and that's
Oh,
the thing is
God.
like I understood the idea of Ra's al Ghul is one name that gets passed down to another person, so that's why I figured he's gonna kill the former Ra's al Ghul and then he's gonna become the new Ra's.
You know what they could have done is they could have just put Ra's al Ghul in the Lazarus pit.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it the way they say it. So
They say it both ways.
Did
they
they
say
say-
Ra's al Ghul
Ra's al
and
Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul.
Ra'as al Ghul. Ghul.
But yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
My mom's gonna be like, "What are you talking about ghouls for?"
So
The head of the ghoul. What are you talking
another
about?
thing that came out of Capcom. Oh, sorry, not Capcom. Comic Con.
Capcom.
San Diego Capcom.
Comic Con. We got the second trailer for Batman versus Superman, or Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
See, that's gonna get copywritten.
I
DMCA.
I like this trailer much more than that first
I
one.
didn't
It was
see this
definitely
one.
better, but it was kind of funny that there was a picture that I saw. You know things are bad when Batman has to call Batman because he pulls up he's the one who lights the little spotlight with the bat saying on it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, why are you the one pulling off the thing for that? This doesn't make any sense.
It's my time.
Also, I will say that I still am not a big fan of the bat logo on this.
It looks kind of.
I know they had to make it bigger to make the Superman.
Well, that's the same
symbol of
logo
hope.
that was used in the Frank Miller
I know.
Dark Knight Returns.
They
I know.
see, the thing is, they've increased the size of the Batman
Just to
to-
fit
to-
the symbol of hope on there.
to positively correlate with America's obesity problem.
It's the fat Bat. No, it's not Batman. It's Fat
It's
Man.
the Fat Man. You're so fat, your mom don't recognize you.
All right, stop. We're good. But yeah,
I don't see why the Catwoman finds in Fat Man.
he's rich.
Boy, he needs a.
You know,
It's because he uses the Batmobile all the time.
so the
this
fir-
isn't a car.
so the first trailer I thought was kind of confusing because like, why are they mad at each other? You know, like what's this even about? Like it just had had a bunch of scenes that just felt out of context.
But like the trailer made Batman look like the bad guy.
Yeah,
So what does this trailer do?
this
I
trailer.
didn't get to see it.
Oh, you didn't get to see it?
No.
Okay.
Basic rundown is a lot of people are seeing Superman as a god, and Batman is denying his right to be part
Well,
of
it
Earth
also
because he's
shows like the
alien.
destruction of
Oh yeah, one of the buildings that Superman
not
destroyed.
like the whole area
Yeah.
in Metropolis.
Oh, so
And-
Batman was like, you're killing people.
No, it was it showed Ben Affleck, Bruce Wayne. You know, look, okay, imagine 9/11. You know, like
Yeah.
everyone's running from the explosion, and
Yeah.
he's running towards the explosion, trying to save people
Oh, okay.
because he sees the building collapsing
Oh,
and stuff
okay.
like that.
So he's
And
using
it's
his faster than a speeding bullet speed.
Ben Affleck.
Oh, Ben Affleck. Okay, so Batman.
This was during the Superman fight at the
Okay.
end of Superman
okay.
or the Man of Steel.
Okay.
So basically, he doesn't. He's blaming Superman on the destruction of like the city and all those lives that
Because
have-
he could have
got
stopped it,
lost.
right?
No,
I'd never, dude. I've not seen the movie, so I don't know what's going on.
oh, you haven't seen the
No.
Oh, okay,
Dude, I don't see
The-
like any movies. Okay, except for
Okay, you know how-
except for Mad Max.
Okay, you know
because-
how like
was pretty
in
good.
Avengers 2 when Hulk and Iron
Iron Man
were
fight.
fighting,
Yes.
and
Oh,
they're just
spoilers.
Yes, just
Spoilers.
they're destroying the city.
yes. Uh-huh.
Now, imagine that, except worse. The city is way more destroyed.
Uh-huh. So
So there was, at the end of the what's it called?
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, Zod and Superman are fighting
okay.
and like just destroy the place.
Okay. So it's like when Dragon Ball Z, they just like start blasting each other through buildings and
And then they
And
decide to
countrysides.
go out to the desert where
Yeah.
like
And it's
there's no
like-
one there.
it's like, oh, too many things are being destroyed. And then like the bad guy's like, okay, let's go over here. It's like,
Yeah.
uh-huh. Yeah, but so Batman's saying you could have prevented this. Only you could prevent.
No, he's saying
Forest
that
fires.
the destruction was caused because of him.
Well, I mean, he could have done things in his power to get like he could have taken it to a desert. That's what I'm saying. He could have used his Superman abilities to quarantine this into Area 51.
So, anyways, this
or out in outer space.
Yeah, in outer space.
this
These
trailer I
memes.
think is a lot better because it kind of explains better
Yeah.
than that first trailer. And
Do you bleed?
So do I need to see Man of Steel to watch this? Because I feel like I'm missing out.
it's a good movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it really?
I liked it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is it out on anything to rent yet?
It's been out for a while. It
for-
came out a couple years ago. I think.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
I'll check Amazon or whatever. Pay my $1.99 for HD streaming.
It's pretty good. I liked it.
Okay, cool.
Well, like the Kent, Martha Kent, I believe her name is
Hmm.
Ma Kent, Anyways, so the Kents in this world seem like they are the opposite of the Kents of every other DC universe.
So like snooty.
Because you remember in the Man of Steel how Pa Kent was like, don't save them, and keep your powers hidden and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then in this trailer, Ma Kent, she's like, you don't owe the world anything.
Yeah.
Like, where does Clark Kent get his morals from if that's how his parents are?
It's Jor-El.
Religion.
It's when he finds his
I guess that's what they're
Fortress of
going with.
Solitude.
I don't know.
That does make a little sense
Yeah.
that he got it from Jor-El because he talked to him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how he realizes who he is and gets his powers.
But like, what the comics have
Or
been
his
going
suit,
with
I
for
mean.
so long was that, he got raised by these two humble country folk, and that's why he's so moral.
Because Southern hospitality.
Exactly.
Yep.
But yeah, I like this trailer. What did you think, Kevin?
It was definitely better, but I can't say I'm incredibly excited.
I think my only issue that I had with this trailer was I think the CG didn't look very good.
That doesn't sound good. If the CG doesn't, if they can't put good CG for a trailer, which is representative of a movie, and usually they try to put the really good stuff in the trailer,
Yeah.
right? Then how's a movie gonna look?
Like, okay, like
you know
when-
what they should do?
when
They
we-
should just use Unreal Engine 3.
Just
go to-
every movie from now on should just be.
It's kind of hard for me to
pre-rendered.
explain, but when we watch Avengers 2, we see Hulk and Iron Man
yeah,
fighting.
and then it
like
looks
it looked really good, and I'm believing it's happening, right?
for the like the destruction and
Like,
stuff. Yeah, it looked really good.
I think the only glaringly not so believable thing in that movie was Ultron.
yeah,
Everything else looked really good.
Yeah.
Now, watching this trailer, it's like, okay, that's clearly Wonder Woman standing in front of a green screen.
Oh, no.
If
If they can't even do that right, no.
like I don't know. That's
I'll-
my
I mean,
only
it's-
issue.
I'll keep my hopes non-existent. So if I do like it, I could be, well, I thought it was gonna be bad anyway. So I'm gonna, yeah.
There's some green screen issues.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's see.
there we go.
Batman pulls down the cover on his own bat signal.
Yeah. Anyways, let's
He's
move on.
like, I need myself.
He's phoning. Yeah, ooh. He needs some alone time.
Another
Batman,
trailer
I need
came
me.
out on Monday. In fact, Suicide Squad.
I still haven't seen that trailer too. I don't know why.
I will
probably because
say
I've been super
it
busy at work,
looks pretty good, but I'm still not a fan of the Joker.
I feel like this.
Well, it's representative of the new Joker though,
I know, but
and Mark Hamill can't be Joker anymore.
I feel like not enough happened in this
He can still do
trailer
his
for
voice.
me to
Yeah.
get an opinion. It's hard for me to even have an opinion on whether this looks good or not because it's basically like, hey, here's Harley Quinn, here's Deadshot,
yeah,
here's Captain Boomerang, here's Katana, there's the Joker. Hey, it's Batman hanging on a car. Like that was it. Like there was, it's like, hey, Will Smith shirtless punching a punching bag.
Suicide Squad feat Batman.
So I
It's like a
think
new rap
I mean, like I
group.
think it looked all right. The
That
least
does sound like a gang too.
Suicide
Squad. You do some kind of like finger
feat
symbol.
Batman. Yo, I'm the Bats.
unfortunately, I feel like the two things that were supposed to hype me up the most about this trailer were the least impressive things about this trailer, and that was Jared Leto's Joker, which I still hate those teeth.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I don't
did
really
they have
understand
to-
the T.
Why did they give him like
grill?
grills?
Yeah, like
Dude, it's rap group. I told you.
he's gonna release his album next week.
Suicide Squad feat Batman, featuring
Joker's the
Batman.
real
Batman's-
OG.
Yeah, no,
Like,
he's,
like he joined a Mexican prison gang and everything.
I mean, I
He's
understand like if
OG.
his like teeth got knocked out or something, but
Like-
He's got like the big thing with Joker is also those little like the grandma teeth that like are those little things. Why don't they give him one of those?
And the other
The
thing,
little- the twist ones.
the other
yeah.
thing that least impressed me was Will Smith. I feel like I should be in love with Will Smith being in this movie.
I don't think
but
he fits that role.
he was just Will Smith
No,
being
no,
Will Smith.
I think
So we're a scapegoat.
no.
And he
see,
punches a
yeah.
punching bag.
See, like, have you guys seen Hancock?
I've seen like 10
Yes,
minutes of
That
it.
was actually a pretty good movie.
I liked it until the plot twist.
that was just no. I'm not talking about that part. That part, just forget about that part.
Like until that plot twist, and then the end, like the plot twist on to the end, I did not like.
So the
that.
most irrelevant parts, okay. But like the other, I mean, like he played as this like superhero. Well, he wasn't really a superhero at first, but like
super hobo.
yeah, super hobo. I mean, he did it really well. I mean, he like of course it's Will Smith, but I don't know, it was different. I mean, maybe just the character, just their direction with the character in this isn't good. I don't know.
Well, they didn't really show much. I mean, if you watch the trailer, they did not show like he said
It's
one
just
line,
like-
which I did not care for. He punched a punching bag, shirtless and bald, and he jumped or rappelled off the side of a building. That's it.
This is
I
Rainbow
still
Six Patriots.
find it hard to see him in that role, but
You know what I like
Mm.
in that role? Butter. Dinner rolls, so good.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it might end up surprising me.
yeah.
Another
Just
thing,
keep your expectations
like when
low.
you
I'm
look at
telling
this movie, like from just as a whole, the Suicide Squad, the whole idea is that any of them can die,
Mhm.
and you see a bunch of B and C list actors, and then you see Will Smith.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
Mhm.
like, okay, he's obviously not gonna die.
Mhm.
All these other guys are expendable.
Yeah,
The Expendables for Suicide Squad.
I feel like, I mean, I haven't seen this trailer, but I feel like they need to have more emphasis on how crazy all these people are.
They did a good job with
they put
showing
emphasis on
Joker's
Harley
crazy and
Quinn.
Quinn's being
Yeah,
crazy.
Harley Quinn being crazy.
But like everyone else is kind of crazier in their own way, though. Like I don't know.
Not really. I mean, Captain Boomerang's not very crazy. I don't think Katana's crazy.
I don't think Deadshot's
I'll
usually
like
really
him.
crazy either. He's just very angry. All the
Yeah,
time.
Deadshot's not crazy.
Yeah,
I
just
mean, Killer Croc.
being very
is
angry all
crazy.
the time is not a form of insanity at all. No, it's not.
No, Deadshot
It's
is
completely normal.
Deadshot's supposed to be the calm and collected one out of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And not angry. He's just aggressive. He
you
does
know,
things his own way.
just earlier this week, I was rewatching the Suicide Squad animated
I've never seen
was
it.
it the Assault on Arkham animated movie that is supposed to be like the sequel to Arkham Origins or something like that.
Huh, that's interesting.
Like I was rewatching it because we had a blackout due to the storms,
And
and
you
then
were watching on your like.
and then internet was out when the
Oh.
power came back. So I was like, well, I got these movies saved. I'm gonna watch through these. Oh, this one, it was fun. I liked it.
It's good.
People died. They didn't all survive. I felt sad for King Shark.
I want a. Never mind. That's off topic.
King Shark's
I
head blew
keep
up.
wanting to go on tangents. Let's go to the next thing.
All right, let's move
I
on.
am Tangent Man. Tangent Man.
So, We got screenshots of the new X-Men movie. Guess what's it? Yeah, X-Men Apocalypse,
Cybeam.
starring Ivan Ooze.
Mr. Ooze.
That's what everyone's saying.
He
Ivan
does-
Ooze
he's-
from Power Rangers, the movie. Like everyone's posting the same image of. It's probably if I go down to the comments, it's probably down there.
Yep,
we go.
there he is.
There we go. Ivan
There you
Ooze
go.
right there in the comments.
Never fails.
Yep. And there's a Tron guy, I guess. And there's Ivan Ooze again. So I think this looks hideous for Apocalypse. It does not look good at all.
It doesn't.
They should have just went CG like Thanos for the Avengers, or Hulk. Just go CG. If you can't make it look good enough, just go CG. Seriously, this he does not look big and menacing. He looks
Wimpy.
He looks goofy. And the thing is, if you go to Google image search, type in Apocalypse cosplay, you can find plenty better looking cosplayers. Look at that.
Dang!
Oh, wow.
Why they can't get that guy?
Look at this dude. That he looks fierce. There was another really good looking. This one looks really good. Like this is done by
man.
it looks like a school, a cinematic school. They did this.
Man, that's really good.
Yeah, like he even has
I'm
like
sure. I mean, I'm sure they touched up the picture a little bit,
Yeah.
but like
So
you
they could
know,
have done some-
movies is all about touch up and post.
Yeah, I was about to
It's
say like
all about
bull
posts.
shots are what they
But-
use for a lot of things.
But like,
But-
if students can do this, then a Hollywood production studio should be able to do better. And they did not do better. They did way worse. I mean, like, yeah, there's some things about his design should be changed, like the big A on his belt.
Yeah,
You could get rid of that.
That's kind of 90s.
A for Apocalypse. But either way,
Even
like
that dude right there,
this
that
guy.
one, yeah, better, better.
There's one that
It's
looked.
more true to the. Oh God,
There's another really goofy looking one. That was. Where'd he go?
Goofy one's probably the one on the previous tab.
Haha, I get it.
I don't know, but there was like this one looks pretty good too, or maybe that's an action figure. I don't know. Well, no, it says cosplay. But either way, like all you have to do is type Apocalypse cosplay, and you find some really good looking.
I mean, why is he purple?
I think it's the lighting because like a lot of it looks. I mean, if you look at this, he looks blue. He looks blue in that picture.
It's the red from the fire mixing with his blue.
I mean, he kind of looks like what was that dude's name from Avengers 2? The guy that came from the Chaos Gym.
Oh,
I can't forget his name.
Vision.
Vision, yeah. He looks like a weird version of Vision.
No, Vision looked better than that.
That's why I said weird.
Yeah, I'm not digging Apocalypse at all. Psylocke, sure, fine. Yeah, I mean she looks like a cosplayer.
It
but-
looks like a cheap cosplay, to be honest. So does Storm. I think none of that looks high production.
Storm's cape is too glittery. Like who? Like okay, you got to keep in mind these people are dressed like this in real life. This is their world.
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna wear a glittery cape?
I don't know, man. Maybe Shug's leaving
a trail.
make it look
That's
like.
her special ability. She just like throws this glitter at people and it's blinds them, and then they're just like spending the next few decades getting all this glitter out of their hair and their skin.
I mean, Psylocke looks like Psylocke,
Yeah.
but I think Storm's.
She still looks like a cosplayer though.
It does, yeah. I think Storm's like animated X-Men animated design would probably be better. Because I think that design looks really good, to be honest.
Well, they're going with the like Age of Apocalypse look,
Yeah, but
when she had a mohawk.
I mean, they could keep the mohawk, but I feel like that ensemble that get up that she's wearing doesn't work. It doesn't look good.
I don't know. I am not impressed by this at all.
Mediocre. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Chrome and shiny.
All right. So that's pretty much it as far as news that we got. I mean, just want to share some of the comic stuff that I'm into. As usual, mediocre. So let's wrap things up. We have no listener feedback this week. But if you'd like to write into the show, you can write into podcast@avcontinues.com.
Mhm.
Send us your questions, comments, or any other feedback. Or your games.
Yeah.
they keep sending me games. So they sent me 4 games this past week, and I was unable to really. Well, I started playing one of them, but I wasn't able to get much done with them because the internet was out and the power was out and everything. But expect some gameplay footage from those 4 games soon. First one being Zombie Party, which is actually a pretty cool game. I played a little bit of it. I was streaming a little bit of it last night. It seems pretty cool. Early access game though, unfortunately. But either way, let's move on and give our shout outs and plugs. Plugging in the Twitch stream. That's twitch.tv/SayedStafa. That's SAYEDSTAFA. And that's where you can find me playing those games that, like Zombie Party. Also, if you like the music that you heard in the beginning of the MP3 version of this podcast, that's only for you MP3 listeners. The intro song and the song at the end of this podcast were both written by Nathan Becker, and you can find him by searching for his internet name, his music DJ name,
His artist name,
Ectogemia. That's ECTOGEMIA, and you can find him by either searching for that on Google. You can go to facebook.com/ectogemia, soundcloud.com/ectogemia, or just go to Out of Continues and you'll find a link to them in the show notes. Anything else you guys want to plug?
I got a shout out to Brian Trusty.
Yeah.
Keep the Sega dream alive, bro. Shenmue 3 Kickstarter just hit 6 million.
Yep.
Biggest video game Kickstarter in history. The Sega dream.
Speaking of Brian Trusty and Kickstarters, he started his Kickstarter.
Did he?
Yes.
Okay.
Help him reach his dream of
Is that the
I don't know, man. I thought his dream.
vegan
hot
dogs. That's DAWG. Was it Z? I think it was Z. Vegan dogs. Yeah, help him reach his dream of making selling vegan hot dogs on a cart in Indianapolis.
Oh, okay.
That's his Kickstarter. Just started.
Nice.
Any other plugs? Shout outs?
Mm-mm.
Shenmue 3.
Shenmue 3.
If you're going to Gen Con this year, we will have an Extra Life area. We will be partnering with eBash, which is a gaming cafe here in Indiana. And so we'll have a whole bunch of gaming spaces available. I think we have like over 100 PCs and consoles, I think, too, will be set up. So
Any Nintendo games?
maybe we might. I think they do have a Wii and some Wii U's that they
Nintendo.
Nintendo
All right.
direct to you.
If you enjoy what you've been hearing, you can support us. You can do that by liking us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. You can leave an iTunes review. That would be really helpful. You can contact by email. That's podcast@avcontinues.com. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/avcontinues. All those things I just mentioned, you can find them all on avcontinues.com. They're right there. Links are on that page. You can also give me a tweet. I am at SayedStafa. That's at SAYEDSTAFA. And these guys also have Twitters.
I am at Phosphor112. That is PHOSPHOR112.
And I'm at KS Trehan, KSTREHAN.
So I'd like to thank my guest host for joining me today, Kevin, for showing up on time.
Thanks for having me on your podcast.
Ali for showing up on time.
No, Ali for showing up.
Yeah. I was on time. I was just quiet.
He was just very quiet for the first few minutes.
It was just like
A wizard only shows up on time.
Yeah.
Never shows up early or late, precisely when he means to.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
So, with that said, I'm your host, Stafa. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week. We will see you next week because I have a camera in your home.
Well then.